Hey, B Gates guys, it's Mike with Squatchy Reviews. Tonight I am going to show you a video. It's an unboxing and an installation of the Tumbleweed Worm Feast. And what it is, it's a cylinder where you put it in your garden. You got to do a little bit of assembly. It's a three-sided deal. Where you'll see it in a minute, but it goes in your garden. In my case, it's gonna go in a raised bed. You supply the worms, you supply vegetable food scraps, and then they're able to go in and out of the cylinder and deliver nutrients back into the soil, which are then absorbed by your vegetables or flowers or whatever it may be. And at some point you should be able to collect some worm castings, but that's really more further down the line. Initially, it's, all I'm going to be showing you is unboxing it, what it looks like, how to put it together, and put it in the ground. That's it. So enjoy. And real quick, if you like the video, click like and subscribe. It's going to help me out and get some better videos out there. Thanks. So this is an Australian company, and it is my experience with another Australian company that I've bought products from that they do a darn good job, and why shouldn't they? Tape. I have not been paying attention to my camera angles here. Alright, I opened both sides. I only needed to do both. One. Alright, well first, let's go. Let's see. Worm Feast, in-ground worm farm made by Tumbleweed. Food scrap recycling system, 100% plastic. Organic fertilizer for your garden is what it recommends. Oh no, it's not what it recommends, it's what it creates. It has a locking lid. And you want to purchase about 1,000 worms to get this thing started, unless you have a whole bunch already in your yard that you can find. And I don't, because I'm just starting. Okay, what do we got in here? Okay, now that it's out of the box, I'm going to look at the pieces a little closer. The lid one more time. Locking lid. 3 sides. 3 separate heavy plastic sides. And you can see they're tapered wider at the base. And there's the worm entry holes. And there's no bottom, so of course they can get in through the bottom too. I didn't even think of that. Duh. So maybe those aren't worm entry holes, now that I'm thinking about it. That's also allows air and water to circulate. But I think air is pretty darn important. So 3 pieces for the sides to make up the body. Comes with instructions. Some assembly instructions, pretty simple. How to install it or where to install it. How to feed your worm feast. Using it, and some contact information. Pretty standard stuff. I am going to, since it's pretty simple looking, I'm going to proceed and put it together real quick, and I'll be right back. But before I do that, I'm going to show you the fasteners. So those holes right there, those 3, and then there's little grooves also for the pegs on the other part. So it's got holes on one side and pegs on the other for connectivity. And those are going to, I'm not sure if I can do this with one hand. Let's see. No, it keeps moving, but you get the concept, right? That goes on there. The next tab, or the next peg, goes into that little groove, and on down the line. Okay, so we'll be right back. Alright, we got two pieces together. You can see how that goes in there. One peg goes into the corresponding hole, and the peg goes into the groove. Just a little bit more stability. And then those are the other pegs that are going to go into the third part. So, one more second. Okay, little tip. I quickly looked at the instructions because laying it on its side and putting these halves together is awkward, even with two hands. So once you get the two pieces together, set it down, and it actually stands up on its own because it's wider at the base. So that's easier to handle. And then they don't just slip in, which is good because there's tension. So you do need two hands for this, but those pegs are going to go in those holes in just a second. Well, good grief. That wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. Right. For the lid. And that locks in place. And then you're supposed to bury this into the ground as if this is like your ground level, right? And then you give it a twist, open it up, throw your food scraps in there. I'm not going to put any meat in there. I don't know if you're even supposed to. That must be gross. But next step, bury it in the ground. Okay, so this is the next step. I dug a hole a little bit wider than the unit. Put it in to the ground. You see, this is a raised bed, so I'm not going to have it as deep. So this isn't the perfect application for it. There's a little bit of dirt in the bottom. I have some weed guard at the bottom, but then I'm soaking some cardboard like the instructions say. Okay, well, next step is we soaked some cardboard. It suggested using the cardboard that it came in the box, so I did that. Now we're going to put it down in there and move on to the next step. Yeah. Okay, so I put some wet cardboard in there. I don't have worms yet. I should have done that. But I'm going to put the lid back on, and next step would be some worms, and then let them sit for a while, a couple days, let them get acclimatized, and then you start throwing in their scraps. In the meantime, I'm just going to button this back up, and I'm going to backfill around the container. Okay, so we are all installed, backfilled it. This is where it's going to be. For a raised bed, this raised bed, that's as far as it's going to go in. It should go up to here though, but this is okay. It'll still work.